And welcome, everyone. It's your boy, Big Lloyd Dotson. Everyone calls me Big, and you are joining us tonight on the very first official company kickoff webinar for iCoinPro. And I can tell you, we are excited here at iCoinPro that you've joined us. We want to thank you for joining us live. We really do appreciate that you're taking time out. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time where I am around New York City, but I can tell you, I know there are thousands of people watching us on this webinar tonight. Why? Because they want to learn all about iCoinPro and why it's the definitive source of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So, what exactly are we going to accomplish tonight? We're going to tell you all about iCoinPro by having none other than my man, the CEO and founder of iCoinPro, come out and talk to you all. He's going to answer, all right, 8 to 10 questions that I'm going to pepper him with so that all of you are going to get a chance to hear straight from the, I don't want to say horse's mouth, but let's say horse's mouth, all about iCoinPro, why he created it, why this is such a phenomenon in a short period of time. I tell you, it is absolutely phenomenal what's happened in just 6 short days. We're currently in pre-launch. We're not even in launch phase, and we've already put over 20,000 people into the system as pre-enrollees. And tonight, we're going to tell you all about how you can get involved also and why you want to get involved. Now, after I bring Paul out here in about 2 minutes and go through all those Q&As with him, we've got another special treat. You see, one of the great things about what this product has done, it is a wonderful, wonderful program and product. It's also brought together some of the best leaders and marketers and business people out there, and I've got a few of them here tonight on the panel just for you. And I'm going to basically allow Paul to introduce them one by one, and they're going to share their experience with you on why they hopped on the bandwagon with iCoinPro, why they're bringing people in that look up to them, and why they're going to tell you that you should, if you're not involved by now, get on board because it's not too late. Again, we're in pre-launch. So without further ado, I'm very happy. As I said, my name's Lloyd Dotson. Everyone calls me Big, and I'm so happy to be working with the gentleman that I'm going to introduce you to next. I'm going to be so happy to, on your behalf, ask him a bunch of questions. And let's get started. None other than the CEO and founder of iCoinPro, my man, Paul D'Souza. Paul, listen, are you out there, my man?
Yeah, my name's Paul D'Souza. I was born in South Africa. I've been an internet marketer for a number of years. I actually started back in 1999 doing casino work for online casinos. And that kind of got me from one thing into another. And I was always really interested in things to do online. And for the past few years, I've been working for myself, and that kind of brought me in this direction. And here we are today. So I was born in Johannesburg in South Africa, but I've lived pretty much all around the world. In the early 90s, I lived in the US. I spent some time on Oahu, and I lived in the Bay Area in California. And I've kind of moved all around the world since then, spent more time back in South Africa. I lived in Angola for a while. Back to South Africa, I lived in the UK. I lived in the Far East. I was out there most recently. I spent some time in Thailand and then in Philippines, and now I'm back in South Africa. And as I said earlier, I've been a full-time internet marketer for a number of years, where I made a full-time living from the comfort of my home using just my computer and internet connection. And the whole cryptocurrency idea was just really appealing, and it was something that I started educating myself on, and it eventually just became something that I wanted to teach other people, and here we are today.
So is cryptocurrency, Paul, is cryptocurrency big in South Africa?
Massive. Not just Bitcoin, but a lot of people in the crypto space might be familiar with the name Vinnie Lingham. He's a massive Bitcoin investor, very, very well known in Bitcoin circles. He's South African, and I worked alongside him sort of around the year 2000. We worked together. Mark Koenigsberg, another South African, also well known in the crypto space, another guy that I actually worked with as well, the lead developer for a cryptocurrency called Monero. Now, if you're familiar with Monero, the lead developer is a chap that I know out of well, originally out of Johannesburg, he now lives at the coast. Also another South African. Yeah, crypto's big, yeah.
You know, it's funny. You never would have thought that, because most people assume that cryptocurrency is large as far as you know, the Asian markets, the U.S. obviously. But what you're saying, you're bringing up a couple of names and a couple of cryptocurrencies that people maybe weren't aware of. So, how long, Paul, have you actually been involved with cryptocurrencies, man?
All right, so I first heard about this thing called Bitcoin back in probably around 2010. And the way that it was explained to me back then really was that it was a way that people could use their computers to do mining on the internet and make money. Now, it really didn't sound very appealing to me at the time. It sounded scammy. It sounded just weird. And I actually thought it was a game. Now, those people that are familiar with the game World of Warcraft, okay, one of the biggest gripes that WoW players have are these Chinese miners that mine all the gold in the game and sell it to other people for real world money. And that's what I thought Bitcoin was. I thought, you know, I'm going to have to play like a game and then, you know, sell like, that's what I thought it was. And I didn't pay any more attention to it until it made the news a couple of times, you know, with the price started going up the first time it reached $1,000. I started paying more attention, but it was always something in the back of my mind. I had this preconceived misconception about what it really was. And it wasn't until a few years ago that I spoke to a really good friend of mine. And funny enough, he's watching this video right now. And him and I, we had this long conversation about cryptocurrencies, and he explained it to me. He broke it down, and the way that he explained it to me, it just made sense. The penny dropped, and I realized then, wow, you know what? The world is going to eat this up, and I need to get in on it. And I started educating myself. I started reading. I just absorbed. I started asking questions. My buddy was starting to get really tired of my consistent pestering. I'd like message him, hey, what's there? Whatever the case is, and I'd go and read up. And then I just became so absorbed in it that I just decided, well, you know what, this was going to be the way forward. I started trading. I started staking. We're going to be covering staking topics. And yeah, so a few years now.
So now when you say a few years, when exactly would you say that you dove all in? You see, because so many people kind of have been dipping their toe in the space. When would you say that you dove all in? What year was that, man?
Around the beginning of 2015, just as Bitcoin was starting its massive climb, is when I threw myself all in. Like where I decided then I was going to invest in it. I was going to really see what I could do with it.
Right. And so is that when the concept for iCoinPro came about? Because I know you and I talked about a concept 12 months ago, but I know you were basically bugging me about the fact you were working on something before that too. Yeah.
The whole idea actually sort of came to I'm trying to think of the proper term, but incubated. Really, while I was out working in the Philippines last year, I was working on a project alongside Ari, who's on the call now, and we shared an office. And in that office, I would sit and think, and we had this massive whiteboard, and I would go and write on it. And Ari can back me up on that. Like I'd go and write stuff and say, you know, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, whatever the case is, and like I want to teach people. I want to take this. I want to show the masses. Like, you know, the more that people get into this, the more that everybody scores. It's like the one thing that the more people that actually get involved with Bitcoin, everybody scores. And like I kept on just trying to figure out how I could actually bring this to the masses. And the first idea, the first iteration was that my original vision was to have a magazine and distribute that magazine out to people. And the magazine would actually teach people little bits and pieces about crypto. And that kind of evolved. It evolved from the magazine to what we have today. What I wanted was I wanted a product that it was crypto in, crypto out. So people would pay in with cryptocurrency and they would get paid in cryptocurrency as well. The only problem with that is that the biggest audience are those people that have absolutely no idea about cryptocurrency. So they wouldn't have, or they wouldn't know how to acquire it to be able to get involved. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to open it up to anyone. People will be able to use their credit cards, and then it kind of just developed into what iCoinPro is today.
That's awesome. See, Paul, what's wonderful is to see what's happened in such a short period of time. Not only with you, but in this whole cryptocurrency space. And I think what's wonderful is that's what iCoinPro, from my understanding from you, this whole vision you laid out for me and other leaders that are on here of how iCoinPro is going to be able to completely change as it goes along, because the space is constantly changing. So let me ask you a question. Maybe you don't want to give it away, all right? But what do you see coming for iCoinPro in the immediate next 6 months and maybe the next 3 years, my man?
All right. Now, the reality is that the cryptocurrency industry is a rapidly evolving, fast-moving, very fast-paced industry, and there's new things coming out all the time. The technology is being adopted by companies. Like a lot of people are adopting to it rapidly, and they're taking the whole concept of what the blockchain can actually do, and we're going to cover that. But the whole industry is going to be extremely fast-paced. Now, with iCoinPro, what I plan to do is I plan to keep people up to date with all the changes that are happening, in a fashion that people will be able to have all the necessary information, the most important bits. They will have one place to go to where they can always be up to date with what is new, what is happening, and how to actually stay ahead of the curve. And some of the modules that we've got planned are going to dive deeper into the inner workings of cryptocurrencies, as well as some of the really exciting stuff like how people can actually make money from cryptocurrencies. And I know that is going to excite a lot of people, because there is a ton of money to be made from cryptocurrencies. Okay, in various ways. People can trade, people can do arbitrage, people can stake. We're going to be talking about staking at some point. And the modules that are planned will cover all of these in great detail. Now, the modules that are on site at the moment, people need to realize we are in pre-launch, okay? The modules that are up there at the moment will change when we approach the full launch, and we're going to be adding on a lot more content. There's a ton of content that's going to be going on that's really going to be geared to getting people up to speed, up to date, and be able to give them the ability to use that information so they can go out and go and make money. One of the biggest modules that we're going to come out with very soon is the trading module, where people are going to be taught, yes, trading. Okay, now, this is not a trading bot. This is not it's nothing like that. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be teaching people exactly how to trade, what to look for, how to read the charts, how to read the graphs, everything, okay? Now, legally, we cannot tell people what to invest in or what to buy, but we can teach them and empower them so that they can make those decisions themselves. That's what's coming in iCoinPro.
Paul, I can see the excitement oozing from you, because, for those members that have already enrolled and paid, you actually saw a little bit of teaser of that saying coming soon for this micro profit strategy. But as Paul said, it's fantastic what's coming, and we're excited for that. Now, when it comes to this micro profit strategy and all of these updates and all like that you're talking about, Paul, are you going to is there going to be an extra price? Is there going to be additional monies people have to pay to access all these things you're talking about coming?
Big people are going to get the additional modules and the trading training module for the grand price of an additional nothing. It's all included in the price. It's one price, and you get all that training and all the additional content that we're going to be producing and putting on the site for the next 5-10 years.
And that's awesome, Paul. So what is that price that someone could get started with in iCoinPro if they're watching this for the first time and want to get started with iCoinPro, my man?
Anyone who's watching on this site, there should be a button below this video. If you click on that, it's going to take you through to the person that showed you who that actually gave you this link, the person that told you about this opportunity, the person that told you about this video, and you can actually get started in iCoinPro for $40 a month. There's a $40 activation fee, $40 a month, and you're going to get all that information, all that content for as long as you remember.
So let me make this clear. So you said a $40 admin fee, $40 a month. That price is set no matter how many modules or how many additional trainings you add to it, including all the advanced levels, Paul.
That's 100% right. 40 bucks a month, and you're going to get a constant stream of the best information about cryptocurrency possible.
Paul, that's absolutely phenomenal. So let me do this. If you're watching this, here's what I'm going to say. If you haven't enrolled yet, go ahead, find that button down below for the person that shared this link with you or shared this webinar with you, and go ahead and get enrolled. It's free to enroll. You can take a tour by free, and then essentially you have some time to decide if you want to join us as a paid member. Now, the amazing thing, Paul, is that we talked about it. We have over 20,000 pre-enrolled members, correct? 20,000 pre-enrolled members in the last 6 days since we soft pre-launched. And correct me if I'm wrong, we now have already, are we over 5,000? Are we nearing 5,000 paid members, Paul?
I'll actually give you that figure right now. Give me a second. Let me just, I'm going to have a look on.
You're going to give it to me live?
I'm going to give it to you live.
Awesome. Awesome. So now these are paid members. So if you're watching this, you can pre-enroll for free, take a test, a tour, all of that. And if you decide to join us, you then upgrade to become a paid member for the price that Paul spoke about. There's some options to basically upgrade additionally for some discounts on a 6-month or a 12-month membership. We absolutely want you to take a look at that. But again, 6 short days, 20,000 pre-enrolled members, and Paul's going to let us know how many current paid, and I believe that number, when he gives it to me, is going to increase dramatically in a few hours, and we'll tell you why in a minute.
All right, so the first thing I'm going to tell you right now is that there have been 26,000 people pre-enrolled into iCoinPro. Of those, now we did a massive cleanup this afternoon where we were just verifying a whole bunch of payments and making sure that everything was fine. And we have a total of 3,921 verified people that have joined iCoinPro.
That is awesome. Nearly 4,000 members fully paid up, enjoying all the benefits of the training and the program of iCoinPro, diving in headfirst into all this great training so that they can bring themselves up to speed on the cryptocurrency emerging market. Because one of the things you're going to learn is knowledge is power, and power allows you to, guess what? As Paul said, there's so many different ways to make money in this cryptocurrency space. And the thing is, there are lots of people out there, probably even you watching, okay, that have very little knowledge. There are a lot of people out there watching that have just enough knowledge that maybe they make themselves dangerous to themselves. And for $40 a month, you're going to be able to dive in and actually get someone like Paul and other experts that he'll be bringing on board to add additional modules to bring yourself up to speed with what's going on currently. And like I said, put those two together, emerging market knowledge, have the ability to make money from it. All right, Paul, let me ask you another question based on those numbers you just gave me. That's exciting stuff. But before we do, let me just remind people that this webinar is a corporate webinar that we're going to do every Wednesday that you can bring your people to, or people watching this, to find out more about what's going on in iCoinPro and getting signed up to be a pre-enroll person for free. So go ahead, make sure you click that link below and get back to the person that shared the link with you. They'll get you started down that path to take full advantage and maximize and leverage iCoinPro, because we can tell you, once you're in, you're going to be excited about all the things you're going to learn, and later we'll talk about how you can earn from it. But let's not do that right now. Let's focus on a couple of other questions, Paul. Do you mind?
Go for it.
Okay. Now, let me get a little tougher here, all right, with you. You gave some big numbers there. You talked about, look, here we are going on the 6th day. Okay, 20 some odd thousand people taking a look at it. The last couple of days, now we're up to nearly 4,000 people that are paid, as you say, which are phenomenal numbers. Just give me an idea. What's the goal? What's the corporate goal for iCoinPro? I mean, let me rephrase that. What's the corporate goal for iCoinPro? How many members are you looking and corporate looking to be paid placed members in the next year, my man?
Big, you know what? When I started putting the ideas together to really make something of it, what I realized what I wanted to do is I wanted to try and touch as many people's lives as possible in a very positive way. I wanted to really empower as many people. And I picked a number out of my head. And that number is, I want to help 1 million people. 1 million people is my goal to get into iCoinPro within the next few years.
Paul, that is awesome. I'm glad you picked that number out of your head and not somewhere else. So let me ask you another question, man. I appreciate that. $1 million, listen to me, 1 million people. That is an awesome number to shoot for. And I'm sure you've written it down. I'm sure that corporate is focused on that goal because, as we know, you're going to hit that goal. I'm sure of that, my man. So let me ask you another question based on those numbers on the backside. When we're talking hitting those numbers, you're going to have to provide a boatload of value, right? Am I correct? In your program, in your education, in your modules, it's going to have to bring value for people to continue to pay that monthly $40, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. How confident are you being able to provide that? And then I'm going to piggyback off a question off of that. How confident are you being able to provide iCoinPro corporate, providing that type of value for people to have them continue to come back time and time again every single day?
All that people need to do is go and have a look at some of the training that's currently in the back office, and they will see the type of value that's there. Now, as I said earlier, this is a fast-moving, forever evolving industry. The value that we're going to be getting or be giving to people is going to be coming from a team of people that are going to be constantly doing research and providing the info. On top of that, our goal is to try and get some of the biggest brains in the crypto space. So some of those names that I've mentioned, I'm going to be speaking to them, getting those people to appear on some of these calls with us to give some really massive insights. So people are going to be able to get the opportunity to hear some interviews and live calls with some of the people that have made cryptocurrency into what it is today.
So Paul, what you're saying, this is something you started, but this is something that's much bigger than yourself, correct?
It's way bigger than any of us. It's much bigger. I'm just a tiny cog in a massive wheel, and my job is to get the word out there. That is what I want to do.
Awesome. Let me ask you a piggyback question off of that, Paul.
Yeah, go for it.
So you've talked about your expertise. Again, knowing you wouldn't call yourself a guru, all right? But I would say that you have some pretty fantastic knowledge when it comes to the cryptocurrency space. What would you say, just so that people are watching, can see that your stuff, if you will, Paul? What are your top 5 favorite cryptocurrencies right now, my man, and why? I told you the questions were going to get tougher, Paul. There's softballs, softballs in the beginning. Go ahead, my man. 5 top favorite cryptocurrencies and why?
All right. So number 1 is Bitcoin. It's the beast that started all of this. Bitcoin is a machine. It's not going anywhere, and the price just keeps going up. So Bitcoin is my number 1. Number 2, and I'm sure it's everybody's second favorite, is a cryptocurrency called Ethereum, which is built a little bit differently to Bitcoin. And we'll touch on the inner workings of Ethereum. Why I like Ethereum is because basically Ethereum was the cryptocurrency that made people go, oh my word, like there's so much more that can be actually done with cryptocurrencies. Now, I'm just going to touch on that really, really quickly, because this for me is exciting, okay? Because it actually explains what the blockchain can do. Now, the blockchain is this massive worldwide database of all these connected computers that are passing transactions amongst each other. Now, what Ethereum allowed was that they allowed people to come along and write applications that can exist on top of the application layer of Ethereum. And in doing so, build applications that are completely irrefutable, okay? People cannot deny any of the transactions that have happened. So there'll be things coming on top of the Ethereum blockchain, like a completely different form of banking and contracts, where people can set up contracts to pay each other, and there will never be any doubt whether a payment was made or not. And then the applications can be then coded to do all different types of things. So people can work, log their hours on the blockchain, and get paid, and never have to see another person, because it will all be done via the blockchain. Things like that. So that's what excites me about Ethereum. Then my third favorite, it's a bit of a tough one. I've got to say Monero. Right? I like it because, hey, there's a South African guy that's driving it, okay? But the most important part is that Monero is probably one of the most private cryptocurrencies. So people can make payments, and they can completely hide their tracks. Now, I'm not condoning that people should be getting up to all sorts of weird things that people get up to on the internet, but it does help protect people that want to remain anonymous. So I really like it about, yes.
Sorry, Jay. I can see you starting to get your geek on here. And what I want to do is I teased people a little bit there, because I know how passionate you are, my man. And I don't mean to cut you off at 3, but let's do this. Let's save some of those for people that enroll into the system, or at least get into the corporate Facebook group. But do we have a deal there? Because I can see you, getting so passionate, and those are 3 that can just tease people, all right, man? Because I have another question, and we do want to get around to having you introduce some of our leaders so they can talk about it. So what I do is I want you to take this time. I'm trying to buy a little time here before you bring out the leaders. Can you talk about, we talked about the education, and that's why I'm saying you were starting to get your geek on there a little bit, and I love it. I absolutely love it. But let people learn all that stuff in the training. That's what it's all about. But there's also another fantastic part of iCoinPro that people are perking up about, and I'm going to let you kind of talk about that. And that is the fantastic comp plan that iCoinPro Corporate has come up with to not only let people learn, as we talked about, like you were starting to talk about, okay, all about cryptocurrencies, that there's more than just Bitcoin, but there's also a business opportunity for people to be able to earn on the backside. So maybe, Paul, if you can spend a little more time talking about that, the comp plan, my man, I would appreciate it. Do you mind sharing the comp plan with people out there, Paul?
All right. So before we actually go into the compensation plan, what I really need to stress is that some of the figures that we're going to be talking about and all the rest, it's for demonstration purposes. It does not mean that there are any guarantees that people will make X amount of money. This is purely just to show you what can be made. Okay. And before we actually even get into the compensation plan, the very first thing that people need to understand are the various rank qualifications, because iCoinPro, we have various ranks, and those ranks affect your earnings. Now, the very first rank, it's not even on here, is someone who's unranked, and that is someone that has less than 3 personally enrolled active members that have paid their membership for the month. Once they get 3, they become a 1-star. And a 1-star is someone that has at least 3 personally enrolled members personally who have paid their monthly dues. A 2-star is someone that has a total of 20 active members in their enroller tree. Now, we can swap the word enroller tree for group, okay? And those 20 active members do not need to be your own personally enrolled referrals, okay? So a 2-star must have a total of 20 active members in their enroller tree and no more than 40% of that volume counting from any one individual leg. Now that rule, I just want to explain quickly. What that means is that if you got like one monster massive leg, only 40% of the volume will be counted towards the compensation plan and your earnings. So the tip and the trick there is go and sponsor as many people as possible so that you spread your earnings out. 3-star, you must have a minimum of 100 active members in your group, again with that 40% rule. Star Elite, total of 500 active members in the group with no more than 40% of that volume coming from one individual leg. Star Presidential must have a total of 5,000 active members in their group, also again with that 40% rule. Now that we understand the ranks, we can actually just hop onto the other page here and look at the various ways that people can make money with iCoinPro. Now, there's 5 different ways that people get paid with iCoinPro. The very first way is something called the Powerline bonus. Now, the Powerline bonus is something that I believe is really going to excite people, okay? Because it is our guarantee, and I'm going to say that on this video, our guarantee that every single person that joins iCoinPro will earn a commission. And we do that by placing every single person in the power line. And when people go into the power line, all right, you get paid on the first 5 people that join after you in the power line, and you earn 3% off each of those people. Now, it's a small commission. It's not great. It's not going to make you rich. But when you start sharing this compensation plan and this opportunity with other people who have tried everything online to make a few bucks and they haven't, when you show them this compensation plan, I promise you people are going to get excited, because there's no one that is guaranteeing that people are going to earn a commission. iCoinPro is going to do that. The next way that people are going to earn is what we call fast start bonuses. Now, this is very similar to, maybe you might want to call it like an affiliate commission, when someone purchases something and you get a once-off payment. So now you get a once-off payment with every new person that is enrolled, okay, or that you enroll. And I'm going to explain this. On an unranked person, okay, so that is someone that has less than 3 active personally enrolled members, all right? For every person that they introduce, they're going to get $10, okay? Now, a 1-star person that's got 3, they're going to start getting $15 on all their personally enrolled people. 2 stars are going to make 20, 3-star and above are going to make $25 each, okay? It's a once-off. As a person comes in, that's what you're going to get. Now, that's based off your personally enrolled. On your second level, okay, if you're a 1-star, you're going to make a 1-star, 2-star, or 3-star and above, you're going to make an extra $5. On your third level, 2-star and 3-star are going to get an extra $3 each. On the 4th level, when you're 3-star and above, you're going to get an extra $2. 5th level, 3-star and above, you're going to get an extra $1. Okay, so when you start adding them up, that up, and you start building a group, it's going to be some really, really good commissions. Now, on to what's known as the coded infinity fast start overrides. All right. Now, the way that this works, okay, people already know that we have a 2x14 matrix. Now, most compensation plans that use the matrix do not allow you to earn beyond the border of the bottom of your matrix. But what we've done here is we've done something called this coded infinity fast start override bonus. And it works down 3 generations, and I'll explain what a generation is. So a star elite and a star presidential person, those guys that have got 500 and 5,000 people in their groups, they're going to get either $2 or an extra or $3, depending on what you are. On every single person below them, okay, down to where they're going to get to a person that is the same level or higher than them. So another star elite or star presidential, when they come across another person like that, that is 1 generation. Then the second generation is again the same thing, where if a person meets another person of the same rank or higher, that's generation 2, and then generation 3 again is the same thing. So on second generation, you're going to earn an extra $1 if you're a star elite with 500, or an extra $2 if you star presidential, and on the third generation, that pays exactly the same. Excuse me.
Paul, you want a glass of water?
You know what? I got a coffee. I'll have a sip.
Awesome. There's
right.
so much. Yep, go ahead.
Then the matrix earnings is going to be really, really powerful. Okay. Now, an unranked person will be able to earn all the way down 10 levels in their matrix. Okay. Now, what this means is that a person can come into iCoinPro without sponsoring a single person. Okay. And through, or even if they've sponsored only 1 or 2 people, and through the efforts of the people that they've brought in, as well as their sponsors, they can fill out their matrix down to 10 levels, and they will earn 2.5% down all the way, okay? And people will earn $2,046 for filling out their 2 by 10 matrix. Now, a 2-star will earn down to 12, and a 3-star will earn down to 14. And the 2-star will earn $8,200, and a 3-star. I mean, as you can see, that is some serious money. Okay, $32,000 is what you can earn if you fill out your matrix. Right now, remember something. So this is really, really important. This is not your own efforts. This is the effort of you and your team and your upline sponsors. Okay, so what I like about this compensation plan is that it's definitely a team effort. People are going to be helping each other to make money. Now, you guys want to hear where some big money is going to be coming from? The matching bonuses. Now, the matching bonuses work like this. Okay, every single person that you personally enroll, you will earn at whatever level that you're at. Whatever level that you are going to get paid on every single person that you personally enroll. You're going to be paid a certain amount. Now, if you an unranked person, so you got less than 3, if you got 1 or 2, you're going to get paid 10% of what their volume is, the money that they bring in. Okay, a 1-star, you're going to get 20%, right? 2-star, things start looking up, because now you get 30% from all your personals, and on the second level, you're going to get 10%. 3-star, you're going to get 40% of the personally enrolled people that you bring in, and then you're going to get 10% on the second level, 10% on the third, 5% on the fourth. Star Elite, 50% of every single person that you personally bring in. And then on your second level, you're going to get 10% of that. Third level, 10% of that. And then fourth level, you're going to get 5%. Fifth level, you're going to earn an additional 3%. Star Presidential is where the big money is, folks, because you're going to be getting 60% of all the money that is brought in by the people that you personally enroll. Okay, the volume that is generated by those people. And then on the second level, 10%, third level, 10%, fourth level, 5%, fifth level, 3%, and then on the 6th level, 2%. And that is the compensation plan in a nutshell. And as you can see, folks, there is a lot of money to be made here.
Paul, fantastic, my man. And again, if you want a copy of that, even as a free pre-enrollee, onto the site after you sign up, again, make sure you use the link below, okay, the person that shared this link with you, and it's going to take you, and you're going to pre-enroll for free, and there's the comp plan right there for you to go through every single detail. See, what's great about iCoinPro and Paul D'Souza and the whole team at iCoinPro is they make everything transparent. Nothing's hidden on what it is, okay? A great program and product that's the definitive source, as we said, okay, resource for this opportunity while you're learning to earn, and the entire comp plan is laid out. Nothing is hidden. So thank you for that, Paul. Hey, I think one of the great ways, Paul, to have people understand how powerful not only the training is, but how powerful the comp plan is for you to introduce some of the great leaders and marketers that we've gathered here tonight on the panel. And like I said, I want you to do that, because I think that would mean more. Not only to me, because I can save my breath, because I love talking, but by you introducing them, obviously that's big ups to them, man. What do you think, Paul?
I think that's a very, very good idea, Big. So I'm going to ask you to mute yourself a bit. And the first person that I'm going to bring out is a guy that I've worked with for a couple of years now. I went and spent some time with him in the Philippines. Learned a lot from this guy. He's an incredible marketer. Ari, come on out and say hi to everybody, man.
It's awful early here in the morning, man. So you guys know I usually work until about 6 a.m. And last night I actually went to bed about 2 o'clock. So I got up I'm worn out, but I'm happy to be here. You know, obviously this is growing exponentially, and you know, couldn't be happier for you, Paul. Obviously, love seeing you spread your wings and fly.
Thanks, man. I really, really appreciate it. Now, Ari, why don't you give people your perspective of the whole cryptocurrency industry and why you decided as a marketer to promote iCoinPro?
Well, I mean, you know, here's the reality, guys. You know, I'm pretty heavy in the crypto space, and you know, this year actually, I told myself, you know, it's time to really come back full time to this side of the space, and so I started gearing down some of my other programs and turning everything towards the crypto industry. And in the process of doing that, man, I spent a lot of time, hours and hours a day, teaching people basics, like how to set up a wallet, you know, how to go buy Bitcoin, just all the monotonous stuff that really just slows you down. And when you told me you were going to do this, I said, man, this is, you know, much needed in the industry. It's going to serve a gap and allow us to grow faster. You know, the reality of it is, you know, this is a program I think you can pitch on the front end and stair stuff up into bigger stuff much easier. And they're already educated. And let's face it, guys, there's no better lead in the business than one that's actually educated right now. So this is just a beautiful opportunity, guys, for everybody.
Yeah, Ari's the one that him and I were sharing an office, and Ari can vouch for what I said about me just writing on our whiteboard, man, like just writing ideas down. And yeah, like I really could have been happier to have had someone like Ari alongside there, like seeing this come together. Shelly's a massive marketer. You're from New Zealand, aren't you, Shelly?
Thanks, Paul. You're doing really well for 2:30 in the morning, I must say. We just woke up over on this side of the world too. I'm in New Zealand. We're next to Australia. For those that don't know where New Zealand is, we've just been crazy about iCoinPro since it launched last Thursday. We haven't been sleeping. We literally have been living in Zooms. What I love so much, Paul, about this course, it's perfect timing. Bitcoin is hot, right, all over the world. Everybody wants to know and understand what this funny money is all about. So when you brought the course out, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what we really need. You can be a crypto dummy, like a dummy. Sorry, guys, I am so brand new to Google Hangouts. I'm a Zoom girl. And I don't even know where the video is. I would love to show you guys my big fat smile. My hair is messy. I work from home. But Paul, I would like to thank you from this side of the world, New Zealand and Australia, for bringing this out. A lot of our people need to get educated. A lot of us are still in dummy mode in the crypto world. You guys will walk out of this course as crypto gurus, you know. You can get your families involved. You can get your kids involved. Our children will not know what a bank account is. They will all have cryptocurrency wallets. Education is the key, guys. Get in, get locked, and get loaded.
Shelly, you know what? That is powerful. Thank you very much. I'm humbled that iCoinPro is reaching all around the world. I don't know how to explain how I feel right now. What I want to do is I want to bring out Darius. Now, Darius is a monster marketer out of Poland. Now, he is building a massive team. Darius, why don't you come on out, unmute yourself, tell everybody about yourself and why you like crypto and why you're promoting iCoin.
Hi guys, my name is Darius. I'm originally Polish. I've been living in the UK for 9 years now. I've started with the iCoinPro once I've been told that Paul de Sousa is coming up with this amazing project. I've jumped on it straight away the first day, and I'm telling you guys, I'm barely getting a few hours of sleep a day. My phone is absolutely burning every single day. I cannot stop texting to people. People are asking me questions all the time. People want to jump into the opportunity. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is something that is really big at the moment. All the people want to learn and want to get to know what the cryptocurrencies are, what the Bitcoin is, and how to leverage that market to make a profit. What we got now, we got an amazing tool. Let's put aside the earning bit, okay? we got an amazing tool that can learn all those people how to leverage that market and earn money from it. And that's not everything, right? Because we got a program that will help you earn extra cash. And what you can do with that cash, you can use your knowledge that you got from the platform and invest in the cryptocurrency market. And basically, guys, you can multiply your money, the money that you will earn with the iCoinPro, and you can multiply it using the program that we got, the training that we got inside. That's just amazing. That's all I want to say.
Darius, thank you very, very much, Darius. I really, really appreciate that. And folks, you know, this is a person that we can all learn from. He's got tons and tons of experience, phenomenal leader, and someone that we will be seeing climbing up the leaderboards. And I know Darius is going to make a lot of money with iCoinPro. Darius, again, thank you very much. And now, you know what? I want to bring out a really good marketer out of the UK. Her name is Becky Gaskell. Becky, why don't you unmute yourself, come tell us a little bit about yourself, why you're promoting iCoinPro, what you like about it, what excites you. Let everybody at home know.
Hi, I'm Becky Gaskell. I'm here in Nantwich in the UK. Now, my background is actually in e-commerce, and I have actually been working with Paul now for about the last 12 months on other opportunities and other programs. And when Paul mentioned that he was going to be launching this venture, and you know, the way that he's developed it over the last 12 months, I was just so excited, because, you know, as you'll see if you're on social media, you'll see the amount of hype and the amount of people who are interested in the cryptocurrency, and the amount of posts that are coming through social media every single day. And it was just something that this is now, we're on the cusp of it. And, you know, it is the absolute perfect time to get into this legitimate opportunity. And we have a product that people are absolutely willing to buy. And people, you know, it's a tangible product as well, there to empower people. Asking for outrageous payments up front either. You know, the membership, as Paul mentioned before, you know, it's very, very affordable and gives you access to all those training modules. We've got huge support. There's a great support department within iCoinPro, and we'll also provide you with the tools to make yourself successful in the business. And the really interesting thing, when Paul was going through the compensation plan a few minutes ago, that I had a couple of messages from some of my team members that were coming through, and they were saying, you know, I don't actually realise now, and it's not quite sunk in, how powerful this compensation plan is. And that's the realism of this. You know, it's an absolutely amazing business, and my advice is to anybody out there, jump in with both feet and just share this with your friends, like Shelley said before, your family and everybody else, because it is going to be unbelievable.
Becky, thank you very, very much for that. Folks, that you heard it, Becky, I can tell you, is a really phenomenal marketer, someone that can teach some other marketers a thing or two. And really, like, she just really helps people, gets them going, teaches them what to do. So yeah, you know, what I want to tell people before we move on is, when you go and take a look at the leaderboard, okay, you'll see some names. You'll see a lot of names on there. My suggestion to you is go and have a look at those people. Follow them. Try and befriend them, okay? Be loyal to your sponsor, but learn from as many people as possible. Because all of these guys, you can learn a ton from. The people that are on this call, you can learn so much. And if you duplicate what these people are doing, you are going to make an absolute fortune. I can't stress that enough. I really, really cannot stress that enough. Now, if you guys are ready to get going, you'll see again below this video, there's a button. Click it, get going. But I'm going to bring out another gentleman, Michael Mansell. This guy can teach everybody a thing or two. Those of you who don't know who he is, he's a monster. Mike, why don't you come on out and just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hey, Paul, thank you very much. I appreciate that introduction. I'm excited to be here on many different levels. I've only now met Paul through iCoinPro. I knew some of the people that Paul knew, but I've really gotten to know Paul here through this iCoinPro program, and I really appreciate the energy and integrity that you bring to this first and foremost. But two main reasons why I saw this as a huge opportunity. We're seeing the momentum of the amount of people that are raising their hands saying, yes, I want to learn more about Bitcoin. I want to learn more about cryptocurrency, by the number of people that are pre-enrolling. Those are the people that are putting their name and number in, and they are saying, yes, I want to explore this a little bit. I want to figure out what this is all about. You know, we're pushing 30,000 people that are saying that in just a few short days here, about 6 days here. So to me, you know, yeah, 6 days, ridiculous. To have that many people all across the world be introduced in this, and the light bulb goes off and they say, yes, I'm seeing this on the news. I need to learn about this. And I'm getting excited because, of course, the way that Paul has the compensation plan set up with the power line, the paid members that we're pushing, almost 4,000 paid members in that same 6 days, is exciting from a compensation plan. But what that tells me is that the information that Paul has put together in iCoinPro is in demand. It is in demand. And when you have a product that is in demand and we have the ability to make some really nice commissions off of it, we're in the right place at the right time. So that's the first thing that I wanted to mention, Paul, was that to me is a huge indicator that not only have you put together a spectacular product with the educational program, but that it is something that people are clamoring to get their hands on because there's so much information out there. And that leads me to my second reason why I wanted to add iCoinPro to the educational platforms that I personally study, and that is because there's so much misinformation out there about it. And I know, Paul, in the studies that you've been doing, I'm sure you came across just some complete crap, excuse my language, but it's just complete misguided or self-serving information out there. People that have ill intentions, quite frankly, trying to steer people in directions that is either, you know, a rabbit hole or a dead end or complete money loss for people. And so to have a platform like iCoinPro where we can educate ourselves, share it with our friends and families, share it with people all across the world and say, hey, digital currency, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin is here to stay. One of the big misconceptions out there, Paul, I'll throw this one out there. People think, and I've heard it all day today, I wish it was 2009 when Bitcoin was 10 bucks. I wish it was 2009. And I tell them, look, Bitcoin is not the end all be all. You said it was your number one, Paul, on your list of, you know, favorite cryptocurrencies, but it's not the end all be all. People are thinking, oh, I got to own Bitcoin and hopefully, you know, in 2 years, it'll be worth so much money. It may or may not, right, Paul? We don't know. But there's going to be a lot of other coins that are coming on board that you even mentioned. And to have that knowledge, to be empowered by that knowledge that we are learning now inside of iCoinPro, to know what the trends are, what's going up, what's coming down, what really be informed from an educated standpoint, that's what really got me excited, because now people can get the information about the cryptocurrency market and get it in a digestible format that they can then make educated decisions on how to really profit from this, not only just a trend, but a standard now in the global currency that we're experiencing today. So beyond that, the people that I'm introducing it to are excited, and it is just spreading like wildfire all across the world. And I'm super excited to be a part of this. Paul, thank you so much for everything you've put together here.
Michael, you know what? Thank you for that, folks. I told you he was good. Okay. Now, when you come and watch it, you come and bring people to watch these presentations and you get little nuggets like that, it honestly is an eye-opener. But you know what? It is 2009 in terms of cryptocurrency. It's in its infancy. This is just it hasn't even reached its potential yet. In my opinion, it's still 2009 for anyone that wants to get involved in cryptocurrencies. Honestly, there it is. And I'm going to tell you this much. The world is changing. The way that we do things is changing. What do you think people don't do today that they did 5-6 years ago? I'll tell you one thing. Ask for directions. Why? Because now, when you want to get somewhere, what do? You put it into your phone and your GPS takes you. So people don't ask for directions anymore. Like that has gone, the way that we've been dealing with money is going to completely change. All right? We have found flaws with our currency. With the way that we use money today, there's a definite flaw. Cryptocurrencies are here to fix some of the flaws that we have with fiat currencies. And really, as I said just now, it's in its infancy. This is just the start. I know that there are a lot of people, and I've spoken to many of them, exactly like Michael just said, where people say, oh man, I wish it was 2009 so I could have bought. No, okay? Cryptocurrencies are just getting to go now. And you people that are watching this video, you are at the forefront of it. You are in the best place at the right time for something that is in demand. And you know what? The demand is only going to grow and grow and grow because people are going to move to a new way of doing things. Anyway, folks, I just want to say thank you very much to the people that came out here and spoke. Big, I'm going to ask you to come on out and just wrap things up for us.
You are. So I get to be Santa. I get to wrap the present and deliver it to everyone. Listen, everyone, I'm excited. I want to thank Paul. I want to thank all of our panelist guests, my man Ari, my man Darius. I want to thank Shelly, even though we couldn't see her smile. My man Michael, who always kills it. We also have Becky, the beautiful Becky, who don't let her looks deceive you. She is an amazing marketer and trainer. We have so many other people to thank that aren't even on the call, that are available as leaders, as available as trainers out there in this iCoinPro system. You know, Paul, the funny thing about what you were just talking about, how this is in its infancy and how things change, as you all may or may not know, my whole background is, all right, Ivy League school, football, and worked on Wall Street. Had my own private wealth firm for over a decade. And a lot of people would ask me, well, why are you doing this? Because as Paul said, things change and they change dramatically. And I saw the writing on the wall in this cryptocurrency space. So it was almost like kismet, hooking up with people like Paul and Ari and others who, again, also saw this vision. But I'm going to tell you one thing. You don't need to have an Ivy League education. You don't need to have worked on Wall Street in order to take advantage of this. What you've got is iCoinPro. That's going to teach you everything you need to know, not only about Bitcoin, like my man Michael said, like Ari said. There is so much more, like Paul said. There are all types of things. He talked about staking, and no, that's not with sauce on it. Okay, those are the things you're going to learn inside iCoinPro. The product itself, the education, the training is worth way more than $40 a month. I remember arguing with Paul a little bit about that, but you get the benefit of the doubt because what Paul said earlier, and I love you for that, Paul, you said, I want to be able to have the masses start to understand how powerful this emerging market in cryptocurrency is. So we're going to ask you to do one thing, all right? You don't need to necessarily reach out directly to people like myself or Ari or Darius or Becky or Michael or Shelly or even Paul. What you need to do is you need to push that button down below, reach out to the person that shared the link with you for this webinar. We're going to do this every Wednesday. This is the corporate webinar every single Wednesday. We're going to have myself hosting, our man Paul D'Souza, CEO. Again, when are you going to have a CEO that's going to be available every single week at 2 a.m. in South Africa, by the way, and a rotating number of special guests that are, guess what, doing what they're doing. Not only do they talk the talk, but they walk the walk. And as he said, you're going to find those people in our corporate Facebook group.
Right. So on a Wednesday night, Pacific, what happens is we have a cutoff in iCoinPro. Now, if you're a pre-enrollee, okay, and you've not locked in your spot, what then happens is you then move to the bottom, okay, and everyone else that came into the power line after you that did upgrade and pay, okay, what then happens is they move into the matrix and those people that did not pay don't. So the cutoff on a Wednesday is extremely, extremely important because when those people move into the matrix, they're only that much closer to actually filling up the matrix. So I urge anyone that is watching this right now, what you need to do is you need to lock in your spot and just go into your back office, sign up, put your details in, lock in your spot before midnight tonight, or you're going to miss the boat for this week. And then what happens is next week, the cutoff happens again. So Wednesday nights, we're going to have this call, same time, every single night, not every single night, every single Wednesday night, ahead of the cutoff. So we can also help to educate the people that you bring on. Okay, so if you want people to come and hear it from the pros and the marketing specialists like Ari and Michael and Becky, if you want to show your people, hey, listen, you know what? Don't take my word for it. come and listen to these gurus. Okay, you bring them onto the show every single Wednesday, 8 p.m. EST time. Big.
That is awesome, Paul. So not only is Wednesday hump day, but it's also cut it off day for iCoinPro. So what that does is give you a little incentive to go ahead and take that tour, be a pre-enrollee, check out the system, but no, tick, 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 the clock is ticking, and you want to lock in your spot in our powerful matrix and be part of that power line and all the work that's going into this. And I'm going to tell you, as Paul said, there's some guarantees as far as what you can earn in the power line, but there are also some guarantees that me and the other leaders inside the iCoinPro system will tell you that we are going to do all that we can with all our knowledge, with all our abilities, with all our tools to make sure that you are a success also. But you've got to get started. And you do that by clicking that button down below, getting back to the person that shared this link with you, getting with them, get into iCoinPro, and you too will start to, again, learn while you also start to earn. All right. So, Paul, what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch on one last thing to kind of stoke the fire here a little bit. All right. Let's quickly talk about, this will be a call to action here. Let's quickly talk about, Paul, the fact that the matrix will fill over time. So even though we have a cutoff, what's going to happen? That matrix is going to keep growing. Why is that, Paul? This is why they want to get in.
Like I said earlier, I want to touch 1 million lives. I want 1 million people in iCoinPro, and you need to decide, if you're watching this video right now, you need to decide if they're going to be joining after you or before you.